How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Apollo. We are here at Thorpe Park. Look at that, it's a massive beauty. It's our first visit this season, following on from last year's Scarefest. We had such an amazing time last year visiting the park for the first time, so it's come back again on April, about a month now after opening. It's really nice to be here. Now, in terms of what we've done so far, it's currently about 11:30, is it? Is it 11:30? We'll check it on the time. Yeah, it's about 11:30. So far we've queued for Nemesis Inferno. We waited about 20-25 minutes for that. That was all right. Again, it's some decent elements to it, but it's nowhere near the same as Reborn, is it? And then we've just gone on Stealth. We've waited about 30 minutes, and then an extra 10 minutes for the front row on a queue of 60 minutes. Wow, what an absolute experience it is on the front row. Just the view of it, the impending fear that you're going all the way 205 feet up in the air. Just a super great ride, some super great times. In terms of queue times we've seen overall, apart from Hyperia being the highest at 100, which is obviously to be expected, so far it's not been too bad with queue times. I think we are going to probably make our way over to Hyperia. It's currently sitting on 17 minutes as of recording. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Thorpe Park. I've been wanting to come back ever since Friday nights. I love the rides, I love the selection. Bear in mind, with the current state of Alton Towers and Drayton Manor, it's nice to experience something a bit different. So to come to Thorpe Park, experience some of their rides as well, especially with the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster. It's an absolute great experience. So let's go head over to Hyperia and let's go carry on the rest of the day at Thorpe Park. Oh my goodness, so we've just waited for Hyperia, UK tallest and fastest roller coaster. Went in single rider on a 75-minute queue, or 100-minute queue when we went in. Went down from 100, 75,
yeah,
45.
and there was white privilege, by the way.
Oh, cheers, thank you. Anyway, waited about 30 minutes in single rider. I was so fortunate enough with my white privilege to wait in the back row, row 10. And I've got to say, in terms of rides, just rides alone.
Row 9 and you got swapped.
Well, I was in row 9 and then I got swapped. Still white privilege, whereas partner got only row 2. If she just asked for row 1. Racist. In terms of rides alone, that's got to be the best ride I've ever had on a roller coaster. So much airtime, the general width that you get over it on the back row as well. It's so exhilarating, so exciting as well. Love the stall element, just the general hang time and airtime you can get from that ride. In terms of overall though, it still sits like as my third favourite in the UK behind Swarm and Nemesis Reborn. Just as an overall package, but rides alone, it was absolutely superb on the back row. So then following on from Hyperia, we took in 2 flat rides. We firstly went on Samurai for the first time, the Huss Top Scan, and it was a very strange feeling, I must say. It was a 25-minute queue, only waited about 10 minutes, but it's a really unique experience, the way it flips you around, but also then you're moving back and forwards, just all over 360 degrees of G-force there to experience, which was quite nice. I must admit my left bicep was getting squished a bit by the bloke next to me. Also keep your arms out front, otherwise they will get chopped off. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed it for what the experience. Goes on a lot longer than you're expecting. And then we've just gone on depth charge as well for the first time. Just a simple, nice water slide for the younger ones there. Quite a nice bit of fun there as well. A little bit of water element that you get towards the end if you're obviously a little bit on the heavier side like I am. You get a little bit of a splashdown. It's a nice cooling effect. It's only waited about 10 minutes for that. So I think we're going to make our way over to the Swarm and go and experience a lovely bit of smooth B&M wing coaster. off a bit. We're currently in the Thorpe Park shop inside the dome. We're going to have a quick look around. Obviously you've got all your lovely mugs. I quite like the small one. I think that's quite a neat one. Obviously you've got a cool resin here. Jay, you've got to see this tidal wave resin. Look at that. That's quite impressively cool. For £18, if you can see that. And also you've got a few just general shirts, some old merch, some new merch, teddy bears, pig from Jigsaw, snake, shoulder bags, load more shoulder bags. Billy the puppet is on sale. You okay, bud?
What's your channel name?
It's called Apollo.
Apollo?
Yeah, it's just Apollo, that's all.
How much subscribers do you have?
I've only got 33.
Oh.
Very small. No worry. No, it's fine, no problem, thank you. So we've got a bit more merchandise here, as we can see we've got Nemesis a bit there. Obviously Thorpe Park's own branding merch that they introduced in the last 2 years, since seeing that come in. But over here, probably the coolest feature that we can see. Billy the Puppet, shoulder plush. This is done really well. It's already on sale from $13.50. Also some just general merchandise here from Sort. Look, up there for you. So it's cool. It's really nice features. We've also got your pin badges over here. Probably get some of those as well. So you've got your larger ones here, including this nice big skyline one over here for you. That one's a really nice one. Little touch there. But yeah, some cool interactive pieces here. Forgot to mention there, we did take in a Backrow ride on the Swarm, about a 75-minute queue line, ultimately only waited about 50 minutes, so we were moving pretty quickly, to be fair. Once again, a smooth B&M ride. I think Backrow as well. I think we've only ever done the Backrow on the Swarm, to be fair, so I'd like to really try and get on the front row and just see what it's like compared to that, because like I said, when you go on the Backrow you get a bit more zip on it, but like I said, with that smooth B&M track, the general great theming, it's probably my favourite ride at Thorpe Park so far. Like I said, the ride I had on Hyperia earlier was amazing. But I just think the overall theming, the island, Swarm Island, and just the smoothness of it, it makes it a great attraction. Anyway, we've entered into the Forbidden City, and we're now going to go on some flat rides, and I think we're going to try our hand at Vortex. Just you going.
This is the single ride.
Yeah. So we're currently over here on Saw Island then, as we have just taken a ride on Saw. Just quickly talk about Vortex then. You can really feel the G's on your face going around that. I'd still prefer something like Maelstrom. It'll be interesting to see what Evictus is like when that comes to that Port Pleasure Beach. But for the most part, a really good cyclone Vortex. Now Saw the ride, it's been reported that it's had a new train with new Gerstau restraints. And I've got to say that is probably the worst ride I've ever had on that. I love the theming, I love the whole aspect of it. And essentially, if we had the indoor bit, the vertical drop, and that was it, I'd be more than happy with Saw the ride. For me, that is just so painful, especially on the back row, just rough as hell, a headbanger, nothing really felt like it's changed there. Jay had a front row ride and she still felt the same, so who knows what the future is. It would also be interesting to see what the future is if the Saw license ever does go, whether it's just a completely new ride or whether it's just, you know, completely demolished for something else. It'd be interesting. But like I said, I love the theming and Saw ride itself aspect, but as a whole and as an experience, it's absolutely bloody awful. So just behind me then is Walking Dead the ride, waited about 15 minutes in the single rider queue, and what a disappointment. Again, live actors, and yet there's only 2 actors right at the end of the exit corridor, not really putting any effort. it's just very disappointing, isn't it? You know, I love the theming and the general aspects. The ride itself's not too bad. It's just everything else that comes with it. It's just not really that great of an experience. I know when it was rethemed to XX, it seemed to be a lot more popular. Like I said, the ride layout's not that bad, and some of the elements in the actual ride for The Walking Dead are great, especially the little jolty second launch point at the midpoint of the ride. But as a whole, it's just not really good enough to experience. And like I said, when you're claiming there's live actors in there, it's not really enough to make you feel scared on edge. You get more scares from the guests because they're trying to scare each other, but yeah, not really for me. So then with that in mind, we come to the end of our day and we finish it with a ride on Hyperia, row 6. Nowhere near as good as the back row, but it was still an amazing experience and a great way to end the ride, and also like the alternate day at Thorpe Park. We never got to do Colossus, unfortunately. The queue times did fluctuate a little bit here and there, but for the most part we've done really well with the queue times. Everything that we've waited for pretty much just falling under that, which is great. You can tell the operations as well, getting those trains flying out on Hyperia. We're going to make our way over to the dome, pick up some merch, and then we're going to wrap up the day at the end of this video. But so far, and for what we've experienced today, for the first time back at Thorpe Park, it's really great to see, and I really have enjoyed getting back on Hyperia. It's so great to have this in the country, you know, with the likes of the big one. It's just offering something a little bit different, great length of speed, great level of immersion, and also the hang time and air time that you can get is truly a great thing. So yeah, let's make our way over. Well then, as you can see, it is the next day. I was absolutely shattered last night, following our trip to Thorpe Park, that I just conked out. I just couldn't hack it anymore. I just didn't want to be awake anymore. But it is the next morning. We're actually on our way to Chesterton World Resort, so keep your eyes out for that. But overall, my thoughts on Thorpe Park yesterday was a really good trip. Obviously, we was looking at it and thinking it was going to be a little bit busy, given that it is the last few days of the Easter holidays. On Crowd Canada had it around 60%. And yeah, there were some big queues at times, but for the most part, and for overall throughout the day, I thought it went really well. Nearly every ride that we queued for, we waited less than the time. I think the only one that we got kind of close towards would have been our ride on Hyperia at the end of the day. But again, I don't mind waiting when you've got a ride of that quality overall. In terms of what we did experience yesterday, we experienced 10 attractions, 9 unique things. We did 2 rides on Hyperia, obviously. A ride on Nemesis, Stealth, Samurai, The Swarm, Vortex, Saw, Walking Dead, Rush, and then 2 rides on Hyperia. Obviously, I got my Backrow ride at the middle of the day, and then we ended last night on a row 6 ride. Which was absolutely superb. Overall, though, it was just a really nice day at Thorpe Park. It was really nice to get back to the park. Shame it has to end so quickly, unfortunately, with a 10 till 6. But again, we'll probably be here for Fright Nights in October. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen there. One of the things I didn't really point out was a lot of when you go around the park, you can still see a lot of the mazes. Like Trailers is still up, Deadbeat's still up. You can still see Survival Games is building. Obviously, Stitches and the Crows maze itself weren't actually up because obviously they take part on the coastline of Thorpe Park. But it's kind of going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there. Hopefully the event does receive some sort of refresh going forward, because again, it wasn't the worst Fright Nights I experienced last year. Yeah, mine was my first one, but for what you've seen off the pass of it, it just could have been a little bit better, I think, on my idea of the maze quality. But it was still a great time. In terms of the launch pad itself, seeing that over the area by depth charge, yeah, it looks fine. I know there's black tarmacking. They were starting to put up the stalls for all the food marketing. Again, it's not really what I would have liked to have seen them do, but if they think that's the best way to go forward, you know, fair play to him. I just don't really think he needs another seating area. If anything, that could have been a perfect space for another flat ride, maybe. Obviously, the major talk will also be in the Rumble Rapids area to see what's going to be going on there in the future, whether it's going to be an RMC, you know, an Intamin Blitz, multi-launch roller coaster, tilt roller coaster. It'll be very interesting to see. I think Theme Park Guy put out. It'll be very interesting to see whether it does become maybe an addition for you know, Fright Nights in the future. Oh, there's JD there.
I'll be quiet.
She'll be quiet. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. But overall, it's a really nice visit. Some areas of the park do look a bit dirty, especially Colossus towards the actual start of the ride with the first inversion and the lift hill. Be nice to see that get the repaint as well. And then also, I think personally, it'd still be nice to see a little bit more theming going around in Hyperia's queue line, because it does look a little bit empty at places. But overall, it's a really great trip. I hope you have enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to Chesterton World of Resorts, so please keep your eyes out for that vlog. But until then, we'll see you for the next one. Cheerio!